Hi guys. So following on from the meeting, the CRM meeting that we had with Chris before the country managers meeting, one of my takeaways from that meeting was to create a process flow document in how to extract data from the CRM. Now, upon starting to write the document, I found very quickly that it would be an epitaph to how to do this. So what I decided to do was words speak, pictures speak 1,000 words. So what I've decided to do is show you in CRM how to capture data and how to query the database, build a report and extract that into Excel. So it's actually quite simple once we get going. So when you log into your CRM system, you will see something looking like this, or you'll see a dashboard, or you'll see something. If you don't, click on the down arrow next to 365, click on EuropaSat, and it will log you in to the correct version of Dynamics. And in this particular instance, this loads my personal dashboard that I'm building out at the moment. Yours may be something completely different. So what we need to do is click on these little arrows next to sales and go to leads. So let's open a specific lead. So I'm going to open Bob of Bobsville. This is my test data. What I want to show you first of all is a named field. So what a named field is within the CRM system, you'll notice that everything here has a name and a result. So in this case, Bob of Bobsville has first name, last name. Each one of these can be queried and questioned within the CRM. So this is where it allows you to start getting your data out. You'll also notice that mobile phone, home phone, email, etc. is all containing information, lead type, region, etc. Every single one of these is queryable and you can ask the question of what data is within that field. Let's look at addresses. I can look up street line 1, street line 2, 3, city, state, province, etc. So it allows me to actually question postcodes, question cities. It also lets me do websites, etc. So the most important takeaway from looking into a lead and also an opportunity are the names associated to the fields that you want to query. So what exactly does that mean? I know that there's a lot of terminology at the moment with querying fields, etc. Basically, to ask the system a question, you need to ask it to look in this box and then look at the data that's in here. Now for certain boxes that we've got, like status up here, it will always be open or new or won or closed or lost, disqualified, qualified, etc. The other most important box to look at is owner. This is the person who owns the lead. So, in this case it's me, but in active leads it would be Cam, me, Derek, Neil, etc, or Craig. So what do we do now? We need to jump out of a lead. Now that what it's key to think about is what information do you want? Most of the time for leads we need a mobile number, an email address or a home phone. So these really are crucial boxes to ensure that people are filling them out, as well as full names, first name, last name. We don't currently track salutation for Mr, Mrs, etc. But I think it should be something that's added in later on. So now we know that, we can go back to leads. Now you'll see here these are my open leads, 20 in total. Now if I click on the little down arrow at the side of the title, you'll see it brings this list up. Now everything that's underneath system views are just that, system views. These are custom built by Microsoft to give you results associated to what they're called. So open leads, my open leads is just all open leads within your territory that you look after. My open leads is specific to you as an individual. Leads created this month looks at all leads within your territory created in the past 30 days. Same again for last 3 months. Closed leads, those that have been disqualified. Campaign leads, if you want to look at specific marketing campaigns, and all leads in general. This is all open, closed, and open, disqualified, and in progress leads. So you've got very good selection there straight away. What you then have is something called My Views. Now, if you've not built a My View yet, then this you will not be able to see. This will be unpopulated. I've built some, and some of the information is relevant and some's not. So in this case, I can look at cams. Derek's leads I can't actually see at the moment because he's based in Ireland and I'm UK. Disqualified leads naturally are those leads that we've closed down for whatever reason. SMS data, I just look at first name, last name, email address. UK open leads is all open leads that sit within my territory. And UK total leads is everything. How much data is in the system, and letting me review it. So let's create a personal view. So what this does now is this is essentially creating a notepad for you to ask the system a question. So what does that actually mean? So ignoring this top banner for a moment, all this up here, the bit that we need to look at is below this black line. So we are asking a question in the leads pot. So not opportunities, purely on leads. This doesn't matter at the moment. So it's saying select. What's it asking us to select? It's asking us to select a box to question. So in this case, I want to look at status of leads. So now it automatically creates a question. So I'm looking in leads for this field called status, and it equals this result. Now these little down arrows just give you options. So it does not contain equal, or it contains data, or does not contain data, contains something, does not contain something, begins with, etc, etc. Primarily the ones that you're going to be needing to use are equals. Equals or does not equal. Equal usually is the first starter for 6. Then here, this box is not something you can free type in because it's not a free text field. If I had select begins with, I can then free type in whatever response I want to put in. But in this case, we're just going with equals. So now it's looking for defined text. Now because we're looking for a status, status is something that is either open, disqualified, or qualified in the leads world. If it was an opportunity lookup, we could say the status will be in progress, won, or close lost. This little button here gives me options. So in this case, I want to look for open leads. So now the query is saying, look in leads at the status field, and does the status field contain the word open? Now to test if I've built this correctly, I can click on results. This now builds the results to your questions. Now in this case, the headers up here, name, company name and business phone, are not really ones that I'm going to use. But I can see I have 73 records. So there are 73 open leads, or leads in the system with status as open within the UK territory. Your number will vary per territory based upon how many open leads you've got, or how many disqualified leads you've got, etc. So I want to change these headers up here, because ultimately what you're looking at here is a snapshot of your spreadsheet, of the data you're going to get out of it. And at the moment there's just first name and last name, or name. So what do? Don't worry about clicking on Excel or all this here, just ignore. The only thing you need to look at is this button here, Advanced Find. This will take you back to your original question. Now we can look in here. So these ones we generally don't need to worry about. We don't need to fetch any XML data, so everything here, unless you want to clear and start again, this ignore, this ignore. That is if you want to create a new query. The bit we're interested in is edit columns. Edit properties, pretty much stay away from. It's just the name and description field on it. But edit columns. So now we are back to name, company name, and business phone. These are the headers on the report. These are the columns that you're adding in that you want to see. So all that you need to do is click on Add Columns, which is here. Now this, each one of these names relates to a field in the CRM system. So in this case, I want email address because that's of interest to me. So I want email. I also want mobile phone number, which is under mobile phone. I also want the last name and the first name. Now it may be that you're not interested in last name first name split, but for SMS campaigns you have the ability to put the name of the individual into the text message. But when you're uploading the data into Clickatel, if it's not segregated by first name last name, the system will not do it as first name last name. So I click OK. Looks like nothing's changed, but if I scroll over here, here are the new columns for the data that will be populated. So it looks a bit disjointed at the moment. So name, I can remove. I want to delete this. So there's a remove button here. Click on it to highlight it in green. Click remove. That will remove the column. So in this case, I have company name. I don't want that. Remove. Unless you want to keep it in, but in this instance I don't. And business phone, I'm not interested in. So I want to remove that. This data now I'm looking at is primarily for an SMS campaign or contact campaign. So it's in the wrong order. I want first name at the beginning. So all I need to do is click on it to highlight it in green and click the arrow to move. I now want email, I want mobile phone in front of email. Great. So that now gives me first name, last name, mobile phone and email data. Now in this instance, before I do any work in Excel, I also want to know who owns the lead, because if you're finding that some of this data is missing, you need to go back to someone and ask them to complete it when they're on the call with the end user. So in this case, I add another column. I scroll down to owner. Put a tick in a box. Click OK. Now I want owner at the end. So now I have my columns that I want the data from the CRM system to give me. So once I'm happy, I click OK. So remember, we're looking for leads. We're looking in the leads pot at the status field. And if the status field has the word open in it, it's going to give me all the information associated to those column headers that we just did a moment ago. So to give you an example now, if I click results, you'll see I get first name, last name, mobile phone, email, and the owner of the lead. And as you can see, we've got 73, but now the details given to me are so much better. So, you know, looking at some of these, I can look at this lead here has got no mobile phone number. Obviously, you know, Aaron's probably not touched base with the guy yet, but when he does, that can be populated. Here's one for me, Kirsty Noon. This was a new lead that came in on the 23rd. I didn't have a mobile phone number. It only had a landline number, so I've just put 07 in to remind me to get the mobile phone number of the contact. So it gives you great visibility now on who owns it, what information they're putting into the system, and what they need to do to get up to speed. Now, this is all very well and good here, but I want it in an Excel. Remember, ignore this. It's very tempting to click Excel template or export leads, but we don't want to do that just yet. And the reason why is there's a much simpler way of exporting the data. So go back to Advanced Find, save your view. So in this case, it's SMS and email data test 01. You can call it whatever you want. In this case, I just want to make sure that what I'm creating, I'm not going to essentially delete one of the ones I need to keep. So there we go, SMS and email data test 01. You can even put a description around whatever the view is, but in this case I'll know what it is by its title, so I press save. So if I go to saved views, you will see I will have SMS and email data test 01 here. These are all the other ones I've created, but this, in your view, there may just be one. If you've already created one, you'll have two. The thing to make clear as well about creating views, they are just that. They are views. You are not going to have any interference. You are not going to have any effect on the data at hand. Unless you physically click in a lead and change something, you will not have any impact. This has no detrimental effect to the data that's in the system. You're just essentially just correlating data together. Essentially, if you want to create a new view for opportunities, so you can look at active opportunities in the system, the process is exactly the same. So let's just do a quick example. I can go to query, I can click on new, I can go to opportunities, I can look at, let's have a look, let's put status again, equals, the value, open. So this is going to look at all open leads within the UK territory. Yet again, I can do a quick test. So this is good. I've got a topic, which is okay. You know, if you're using topics features, I've got potential customer, estimated revenue, and status. These are all in progress. These are active opportunities. We have 89 currently. But as before, I'm looking for emails, phone numbers, first name, last names, anything that is going to get me the data I need to roll out marketing activity within my territory. So I go back to Advanced Find, edit columns, add columns, and it is exactly the same process. So I can go to, let's have a look. I want mobile number. Well, I want to know who the owner of the opportunity is first. Let's have a look. What else do we have to play with? I believe I can look at this by contact, if I wanted to. But here we are. So this is querying the actual opportunity. So this is just looking at those bits of information, which are, so there you go. I can look at the contact. It's going to give me the contact name now. If it's different from a company name or from the opportunity name. Let's have a look. What else can we add in? The biggest problem that you'll find by doing this is just tying in these display names to the fields within the opportunity or the lead or the account or the contact or, you know, any record in the system. But once you've got a hang on what you're looking for, it actually becomes quite easy. So in this case, it's the owner, the contact, and record type, sales stage. Let's just add that in for now. So there's the contact and there's the owner. Okay. So in this case, I want the contact here. The topic I'm not interested in, so I can remove that. Right, so here we go. So I can now click OK. I'm fine with that. Test the results. So here we go. So these are all the names associated to each of the accounts. Now those matching are generally residential. What you'll notice is that you should have a difference when you get to a business account. So it should have potential customer is going to be the business, and the contact within the business is Mark Riddle in this case. So I can see all this information. But ultimately I'm not going to get any contact info because I'm looking at opportunities. And opportunities don't have that information. It just has contacts within them. So if I wanted to run more as an opportunity around estimated close dates, or I want to know how much I'm going to get during the month, or how much is closed within a month, which is probably better for opportunities, I would change this from status open to 1 and remove open. Now if I run the results again, these are all the 1 deals at the company name, contact name level. In this case, I've got estimated revenue, so you can see we know how much money is coming from this. So it lets you build a really good picture. I can also query by close date, estimated close date, etc. So once you've finished playing with this, and once you've saved your view, so remember, we're in opportunities. That's why I need to go back to query, change this to leads. If I now go to save views, we were doing our SMS and email test data. So going back here to the CRM and using this down arrow, you will see now I've got SMS and email test data 01. All I need to do is click export to Excel. As you can see, it's that quick. I can now click on this data, and there is all the data that we found, all 73 contacts. Remember, it'll always be one more number because of the headers. This data is okay, but the format it gives you is not very workable. What I normally do is select all the data, and then copy it, create a new spreadsheet tab, then I paste special, and I just want the values. I click OK. And this now just gives me the raw data to play with, which is, you know, ultimately that's the bit we're looking for. Apply a filter. Now I can play with the data as much as I want. From mobile phones, I can take out anything that's not relevant, so anything that may be wrong. That's mobile numbers, taking those out. Done. There you go. So now all my mobile numbers are correct. Maybe it's a case of I don't want anything with this. I'm looking for UK mobiles. So just take all these out. And generally take that out because it's a landline. So as you can see, straight away we've got 75 down to 25. So we've chopped 50 out straight away. Now from owner's perspective, I don't want Katya's or Aaron's or Emma's. I just want me and Cam's. So there you go. We now have 17 records that I've got full telephone numbers and email addresses for, with first name and last names. And this now could be saved as a CSV. I don't need this anymore, so I can delete that. I'm not interested. I've just got my sheet 1, which can now be my SMS and email data. There we go. So that's how flexible it is to get into, you know how to do it in Excel. You're probably all existing Excel masters. So I'm not going to teach mother how to suck eggs, is the old saying in the UK. This is just showing you how quick it is. Once you have built your views in the system, then all you've got to do is press export to Excel, and it is done. That is the quickest and easiest way to extract data from the CRM system. Now, once you've got used to doing this, we'll do another video on how to build dashboards, because all of this data can be changed into usable dashboards that you can use, separated from Chris's dashboard or the main business dashboard, but whatever you need to see to drive your business forward, whether it be untouched leads, whether it be number of open leads unallocated, whether it be you can build a dashboard with leads that have not been touched in a number of days, then you can build views that will give you greater visibility and greater ability to respond, so you can manage your business units better. And also you can use them as tests, and to make sure that people are filling data out correctly. Maybe it's a case of, if I change this to opportunities and I want to look at, give it a second, I want to look at 1 opportunities this month. There we go. I can just click export to Excel and I can cross-reference all the names against the people. This is everything for January. 51 so far. So it really is that easy. Once the views are done, click export to Excel. There it is. I don't even need was it that button? Where is it? I can copy this, as I said, create a new tab, paste it in. Oh well, that one wouldn't paste special, so let's delete that one. It's so simple to get going with the data. But that is pretty much it. Let's have a look. Let's do that one connection once again, so you can see what I normally do. So I just want to do this. I copy it. I add another sheet. I then paste special. I just want values. Click OK. Then I do this to expand it out. There you go. There's all of the topics, which is generally just the lead or where it's come from. The number of the customers, the number of connections. So if I look down number of connections, I get a princely sum of 111. Obviously, in this case, I just need to put some filters on. So let's put a filter on. Let us take out friends, and let's leave that in actually. Let us go by owner. So I'm going to take Aaron, Camillo, leave Camillo in, Katia and Emma out. So in this case now, I've got 48. It says connections in the UK, counted 48. So it's that simple to paint a picture of what you've done in a month. And that is really it. That is the best way to get it. In this case, in mine, I've got Camillo sales opportunities. So this is a view that I build, which lets me see everything that Cam's working on. As we can see, he's got 59 ops, created on date, estimated revenue needs a bit of work on, but these are all his opportunities. It really is very simple to do, very flexible, and very, very granular. As deep as you want to go, it will let you to go. And that's pretty much it, guys. Any questions that you've got, by all means, give me a call. What I would suggest is to watch the video and at the same time copy that view build, so that you can then get practice alongside how I've talked it through. And then after that, just experiment. You'll probably find that after a short period of time, you'll be able to build custom views better than anyone. Like I said, anything you need in the interim, give me a shout. I'm more than happy to help out. Okay? Thanks for watching, and I hope it helps.